Hello everyone, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to review yet another Voigtlander lens. It's a lens that I meant to review actually a year ago, but I ended up forgetting about it. But I think it's a good time to brought it up today because Leica has just released their black paint M11 and this is a black paint lens. Well, it's no other than the Voigtlander 28mm Ultron f2 lens. Now, as you all know, with a Leica black paint body, such as this Leica M10R here, it's best to pair it with a Leica black paint lens. However, as far as I know, Leica has no black paint 28mm in their current lens lineup. So this Voigtlander 28f2 here is a really decent choice if you've got a black paint and body and you want a 28mm. Now, there's also another lens I've reviewed a while ago, which is the Nocton f1.5. That lens also comes in black paint. However, I think as far as 28mm goes, f2 or f2.8, at least for me, is better value for money because you tend to stop this lens down when you're doing street photography a lot of times. And also, the f2 lens or the f2.8 lenses are generally smaller. Now, there's also the Voigtlander 28 f2.8, which I've reviewed on this channel. That lens comes with black paint as well, but that lens is aluminum. But this Ultron here is black paint on brass. So you'll see that beautiful patina if you use it long enough. And today we're going to first take a look at how this lens renders. Now, I have deliberately shoot all these shots that you're gonna see at f2 to best demonstrate its rendering. And also, I've deliberately chosen a day where there's very dramatic lighting to show you how it performs backlit and in really high contrast scenes. Now, let's first take a look at that. Okay, so all these photos you've seen here, I've not edited them. I just imported the files directly from my M11 to Lightroom and applied the M11 profile on it. Well, I used to do a little bit of post-processing on these kind of photos to suit my style, but I think it's best to show you what it looks like with no post-editing and how the color also renders on this lens. Now, a bigger question here is, how does this Voigtlander f2 Ultron compare to the Leica Summicron f2? Let's first take a look at the optical comparisons, and then I talk to you about the build and handling. All right, let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, as far as optical performance go, they are quite similar actually. Well, one thing I found the Leica does better is chromatic aberration control or purple fringing. As you can see in this photo here, the Voigtlander certainly exhibits a little bit more purple fringing than the Leica. But other than that, I would say these two lenses are really close in terms of center sharpness, corner sharpness, and even bokeh. Well, to be fair, the bokeh ball looks a little bit different, but that's not the deciding factor because the overall smoothness or the rendering of the outer focus area are quite close, as you can see here. So yeah, by choosing the Voigtlander, you get that beautiful black paint as you see here, and I personally think it pairs much better with your black paint and body, and it is your decision to make whether you want to sacrifice that bit of chromatic aberration control in favor of size and also price. Now, talking about size, let's take a look at the design of these two lenses. As you can see here, the Leica is a much more modern design, and the Voigtlander have this really classic steel rim in the front. And then if you put the lens hood on, I personally think this lens hood looks great. It's a much more retro design, and the lens barrel itself is actually quite a bit narrower and a little bit smaller than the Leica Summicron. And in terms of weight, even though the Voigtlander is made out of brass, they are almost neck on neck, and you won't feel much of a difference. And size-wise, even though the Voigtlander is thinner, like I said, but height-wise, they're very close with the lens hood on. With the lens hood off, the Voigtlander is actually a bit smaller. And in terms of aperture ring and focus ring, they're both very good. The focus ring is super smooth here, and aperture ring got this very clicky sound that I think it's comparable to the Leica in terms of handling. Aside from that, the Voigtlander also focuses down to 0.5 meters instead of 0.7 meters, but we all know Leica has recently released a close focus version of this lens, and that will perform quite similarly to the Voigtlander in that respect. So overall, I think in terms of design, they each have their own strong suits. The Voigtlander is much more retro looking in terms of lens barrel design and the hood design. The Leica is much more modern. It really comes down to personal preference, which one looks better. Personally for me, I don't mind either, but like I said, for a black paint Leica body, the Voigtlander Ultron is a really good choice. So yeah, which 28 would you pair with your black paint M11 or M10R? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.